episode? I have no idea.
31.
31!
I think. Did I get it right?
You did.
You get a prize.
Did I?
That's also, it's Rebecca's birthday yesterday.
I was going to say she gets a happy birthday.
She got a hurricane
Not my birthday.
for her birthday yesterday.
I did.
So
I did.
Dorian has safely passed by Florida.
I thought you said Dorian saved me from Mustang Week.
We are not going to Mustang Week, unfortunately.
Yeah. Hi, we're here. Not there.
Because the hurricane is heading to Mustang Week as we speak.
I think it's like right up there now.
It's going to be all up in Mustang Week. And we know that there could be a lot of flooded Mustangs and other issues. So
Flooded Mustangs? This is a terrible thing to say.
Didn't you see the memes?
No.
Yeah, there's memes
No.
about it. Yeah.
I didn't see the memes.
Yeah. So, we're just hanging out here at the shop getting stuff done.
Yeah.
There's...
Like, I had kind of psyched myself up for Mustang Week. Even though I don't like Mustang Week, I was slightly disappointed.
You were going to go for the fans.
No, I don't have any fans.
You have a lot of fans.
I don't have any fans. I was going to go and spend time with you and do Mustang stuff.
Yes, we're going to ride around with, so it's just going to be me and Rebecca and Indigo and some staff from VMP, not the other 5 kids. So, yeah.
I was slightly excited.
Yeah, would have been nice.
But I got over it.
Yeah. We're going to go out on a date tomorrow night instead.
And we had some cool packages planned at Mustang Week. If you pre-purchased one of those packages, we'll do it. You just have to come to us.
Yeah. So power package installs, we'll still honor the free install on the power
Absolutely.
packages. You just have to bring it to VMP. So give us a call if you want to do that and you happen to be in sunny Florida or want to come to sunny Florida.
Yeah. If you don't want to go hang out with hurricanes and you want to come here instead
Yeah.
and get car parts, like, to me, this sounds like an all-around win. Come to Florida, miss the hurricane, get car parts installed.
Pretty much.
Do it. And don't pay for labor. It's a win.
A lot of the Mustang Week refugees are going to Charlotte, North Carolina, and Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
Oh my God.
Refugees.
I really don't think you should call them refugees. Like, a really, really kind of
Okay.
is disrespectful to people that are actually refugees.
This is true. People that are fleeing Mustang Week in their Mustangs. So Andrew's doing some stuff in Pigeon Forge, and a couple of the other Mustang people are doing some stuff in Charlotte, JD and some of his buddies. So it's kind of the alternatives this weekend, and I think there's even some
There's something else going
track event somewhere that Dwayne Hickman or somebody was talking about up in Virginia or something.
Something else
Chris
going
Cologne
on.
is laughing.
Josh Hubble posted something
Okay.
on his
Oh,
page
that was a track
in
event?
North Carolina. It was
Cruising or something?
I shouldn't have even opened my mouth because I have no idea. I'm just completely
It's all
talking.
good.
It's on Josh Hubble's page. I take no responsibility for this whatsoever.
Yeah.
Stuff just comes out of my mouth, and I don't necessarily mean to be informative.
Yes, you do. Whatever.
You have a couple comments, questions coming in.
Okay.
If you're ready for them.
Yeah.
Mad Max says, hello, VMP crew. Tim Obis, hello, not from Myrtle Beach. Alpha Matter says, hello, VMP. He's got an 11 GT. What would be a mod list NA to beat a C7 Stingray?
Well, that's going to take a fair bit of mods. I would suggest you follow our Chucky build series.
Yeah, I think Chucky's a good model
And-
for you.
Chucky's now going 11.0 with plenty of nitrous jet left in her. So, I mean, tuning from VMP, 18 manifold swap, cold air, exhaust, a little suspension, a little transmission, little spray, and you're good.
Carlos says, hi, VMP.
Hiya.
Brian says he loves his 2.4 pulley on his 14.
Good to hear.
Ray Shaw says, hey guys.
Hi, Dad.
Spodioti says, would you recommend a Boss 302 intake, GT350 throttle body, and GT350 JLT cold air? Will all this fit correctly with no issues? Or do you recommend any other NA upgrades I might be missing?
You really need an adapter plate to run the GT350 throttle body, and the opening on the Boss intake manifold really isn't big enough to support it, so I would just run the GT80 and that be that. Yeah, but otherwise, that's all good. Yeah.
Your mom says, hi, Indigo.
Aww.
Indigo's going to town on my thumb.
She's like, I'm gonna be a thumb sucker. It doesn't have to be my thumb.
Yeah.
Michael Webb says, what up for Southern Cal?
Hey.
Hi.
Jess Garland says, howdy from Wyoming. What kind of gains are to be had on a 19 5-liter F-150 with a CJ intake, headers, and dedicated E85 tune? Would the stock fuel system part suffice? And he says, I love both the shows.
Aw, thanks.
A lot of gains, probably like 100 wheel almost, and the stock fuel system is good
Yep.
for E85 on those dual fuel Coyotes.
Bossman12 Boss says, saw the video of the new fuel system you developed on Mustang Lifestyle's car. Great video, looks like a nice setup. How much horsepower does it support, and does it support E85?
You know, I was thinking that we probably should have razzed everybody in the title and said that, you know, Ashley was getting a 1,000 rear wheel horsepower fuel system. So far, we've tested it to 1140 on E85. So it will support a ton of power.
You're being asked, what's with the PD blowers? Lowers on the table, and then someone else says, show and tell episode today. What's on the table?
We got a lot of stuff
We
on the
do.
table
You know
here.
what? I got to play with this, and I feel like, yes, I've played with this, but I haven't. I just want to hold it.
So we have one of the
I want to touch it.
MFP billet manifolds on the table here, and we have a plastic MFP manifold. And that is because we are in the middle of the design phase right now, and we're in the middle of making, we're going to cast these manifolds. We're working with MFP Australia, and we are doing some little design tweaks, and we're in the process of engineering all of that, developing models, and then having tooling made to cast them. And what that's going to do is bring the price way down, so this awesome manifold that MFP has come up with can be available pretty much to everybody very cost effectively. Because it's not real well known, but there's not a lot of these billet ones out there, and they've undergone a lot of design changes. You're looking at the latest designs here as far as runner shape and cross section and taper and everything else. So that is what's going to go into the casting. I love this manifold. It's here. I'm going to pick up the lighter one, but the runner design and everything in here is like super awesome. Super beautiful. It's the smoothest positive displacement blower runner design that anybody has ever seen. It has all the right design elements. More stuff that we'll go into, but there is no reason that this thing will not make a ton of freaking horsepower. And we're looking at every element of it, from hood clearance to flow to intercooler design to some neat little tweaks as far as being modular with a couple different applications and a couple different blowers and things of that nature. So it's going to be pretty sick.
Another how it's made.
Yeah, and we could really get into the whole design process, the product overview. I can go through the CAD models and everything, but we'll save that for another show.
Roberto says hi from Puerto Rico. He says he has the Gen 3 2650 on his GT500 and it's a monster.
That's awesome to hear. Cool.
I'm looking here to see what. The D-Animal says, thanks for your time doing these podcasts for us. I appreciate it very much. These
You're
live
welcome.
shows. Is there a VMP fuel system for 18 plus?
We are, am I supposed to open that yet?
No, you can.
Okay, I'm making all kinds of popcorn noise. So the 18 up requires some changes. Really, to do it really nice, you need to make a whole new fuel rail. So we're in the process of that right now.
Jeff Scarlin, who was asking about the CJ intake question on his 19 5-liter F-150, came back and said, also for the CJ question, would towing suck with that intake? Do you need me to reread the original?
No.
I wouldn't say it would suck.
This is my theory.
Yeah, okay, go ahead. Go with your theory, because
So,
I know your theory.
Ford biases the trucks to a lot of low-end part throttle torque with the intake manifold design, basically so they don't downshift very often when towing, and so they get better gas mileage. And you're just going to need to be in a little bit higher gear sometime, but who tows at like 1,500 RPM anyways in reality?
Right, I mean, you're not.
Tom Cronin Inc. says, how's it going?
Hey,
I
good.
think it's going well.
Justify0 says, can you get away with using a DW400 fuel pump running E85 around 8 psi? Would a fuel pump booster help? And will that support 680 to the wheel?
The short answer is it's a crapshoot. I actually saw some really good data on the stock fuel pump module that Walbro actually published, and the problem is not flow, it is pressure, and it's a combination of both. The stock fuel pump module doesn't run much more than 55 psi, and so you've got this good pressure, and then it just tanks, and so it's not something we'd really recommend doing.
Tom has a 14 with a built Gen 2, barber ported heads, a Gen 2 Whipple 2.9 daily driver, weekend strip use. He's saving for the Gen 3R. Can you tell me the benefits of running a triple pass heat exchanger versus a killer chiller?
It's a good question.
That is a good question.
People have been asking about the killer chillers more. I feel like
yeah, I feel like there's been an influx in killer chiller questions. My thing is like, especially if you say that you use it at the track, you don't want to have to run your AC at the track. And in my opinion, that's a pretty widely held opinion that AC at the track is not a good thing. I'm sure there's some dissent out there somewhere. I argue that my logic is sound and that you don't want to have to run your AC at the track.
to get the best times, we always turn the car off, cool it down in the lanes, not sit there.
Run my fans.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you have to sit there with the AC on idling, you're heat soaking the whole car,
And then
immensely.
condensation from the AC on the line is just not anything anybody wants to be involved in.
Racetracks do not like water being dripped on
Any
the track
type
surface.
of water, it doesn't matter where it came from.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you weren't at the track the time, so my old V6 had, the window eventually stopped working, the window motor.
Uh-huh.
So I had the AC on all the time because we live in Florida, except for when we went to the track. And I would just sit there with the door cracked this little tiny bit, and I'd keep the AC off because 17-year-old me heard the announcement, don't run your AC, you're gonna get water up here, blah, blah, blah. I am dogmatic, I like to follow the rules. I kept my AC off and I sat there and sweat my butt off. Well, some guy comes and bangs on my window. Real racers don't run their AC at the track. I'm like, I'm not, I'm sweating to death here, dude.
Look at me, I'm sweating.
The things people will do.
I was just going to say people. William Hubbard says, hi, BMP. Just
Hey.
spoke with Joey about adding a fuel system for E85 on my 17 GT. What horsepower numbers can I expect to see with a Gen 3? And he says, we'll see y'all on October 7th. I think, do you need more info? Good.
So Gen 3 starts around 700 wheel, plus or minus 25, as evident by the two different cars that we had here the same week, the husband and wife couple. And if you want to talk about E85 and a fuel system, sky's the limit.
Yeah.
We'd like you to drive it home, though. So don't take that statement too broadly. But we could definitely run some corn, go down a pulley size or two and see like 750 to 8. And I feel that on corn, that would be pretty safe.
Carlos in Puerto Rico wants to know, does he need a 90 millimeter idler for a Gen 2R and 79 millimeter pulley?
It doesn't hurt.
And he says, nice info. Thank you.
You're welcome.
AC 469 wants to know, do you sell the water jacket plates?
I think he's talking about block reinforcements.
Okay, I could have taken that. Yeah, that's what I would think that would be.
Yeah. The answer is we
No.
don't.
Nope.
Dave Simpkins is excited. He's just going to install his VMP tune today on his 13 GT.
Awesome. Good to hear.
Brian Mockeridge says, what's up, y'all? I see you guys didn't blow away.
We did not.
We're good. Somebody was telling me about Brian's truck. I saw it up at a show somewhere.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
you know what? It might not have been Brian's truck. It might have been Gateway's truck. No, it was supercharged. I think it was Brian's. I don't know. Anyways.
AC 469 came back and said, are Fed ported coyote heads worth it while doing water jacket plates and head studs? Would it equal 50 wheel, also change valve springs?
You really need kind of a more all-inclusive strategy.
Yeah.
Talk with your engine builder, your head porter. There's varying degrees of quality and experience. You generally get what you pay for.
And it's not something you want to do kind of piecemeal.
Yeah.
D-Man Dimitri says, if I wanted to get a dyno tune for E85, would you supply a baseline tune to get me to the shop? I live in Orlando.
Yeah, we can do that.
Bossman12 Boss says, I was wondering, since I only have access to 93, can I run meth injection on a Gen 3? Will it work? Have you tried it? Thank you. And then he comes back and says, that way I can run higher boost levels.
We go through the meth injection questions. It really just comes down to if you're comfortable with if that meth injection fails, then your engine may fail. Sure.
I mean, it is an option when you're in the situation that you're in.
Yeah.
You just have to know that there are risks involved in it too. Make an informed decision.
And I would rather see a fuel additive in there like boosting.
Someone's asking, is that a G8? It says, is that a G8?
This is the MFP billet manifold, and this is a rapid casting. I think G8's a phenolic too. So not just a car.
I know, all I thought was a car.
Yeah, somebody called me. Hold on, it's my accountant. Sorry, Carrie.
You're good. This is just a thank you. AC469 says, thank you for all the tech talk / vids.
No
Oh,
problem.
you're welcome. Cool.
Are you good now?
I'm good.
Brian Mockery says, what's a safe number for 07 GT500 motor before you would open it up and do the internals?
Why, this question was just going on the interwebs last night.
Oh, was it?
I think I showed you one of the posts.
You may have. I don't know. I was trying to write a paper too, so I don't really remember.
So we have always been in the past really conservative about GT500 numbers because a couple cars at 800 wheel blew up. My opinion is that knowing what we know now, we should not be afraid to push that engine a little bit since we have better tuning, better fuel systems, and much more efficient blowers. Because when the supercharger becomes more efficient, the power that you took to drive that supercharger, guess where it shows up? I know you know. Do you want to tell them?
At your wheels.
Yeah, it just shows up at the wheels, just magically, because the supercharger's better at what it does. So it's kind
No,
of...
it's not absorbed by the supercharger.
Well, yeah, okay.
Why do we gotta throw magic in there?
I get a little jaded about these subjects because it's very like innate matter of fact to me, and other people have trouble understanding it. Like the Shelby Bible says, you know, don't go over 800 wheel or your car will instantaneously explode, and your
Does it come by the bedside in the
So Brian
Shelby?
came back. Brian came back and he says, "Cause I'm at 790 horsepower and 760 torque."
Nice. Is he on a Gen 2R still, or did he go something bigger?
He did not say. I'll wait and see if he responds.
But yeah, I mean, if it's tuned well, it's fueled well. I don't see any reason for it to just like fall off the flat Earth and then drown into oblivion. So,
Ariel's on the line. Says hello, guys.
hey,
Ariel.
Ariel, what's going on?
Brandon says, "I know it's a pipe dream, but we need some PD blowers for Ford Winster 302s. Just saying." Adam wants to know, will there be a Gen 3R for Cobra?
We will consider it.
Matthew wants to know opinion on dry kits.
Have their place.
Nickel says, "What up, y'all?"
Hi.
Hey.
And Dave Frank says, "Hey there."
Hello.
Hey.
Moving over to YouTube, we have, let's see here. Bossman came back and said, "I was wondering, since I only have access to 93, can I run meth injection on a Gen 3? That's why he asked.
Okay.
And Travis Schott says, "I'm going to be installing GT350 half shafts in a couple weeks since they're a little heavier. Would that throw anything off that need to be recalibrated?"
No, man, you're all good.
Always on Time says, "Rebecca is like leaning over, sitting there saying, 'Who's calling you?'" Started laughing. D-Man says, "Any updates on the 2020 GT500 color for VMP?"
Well, two people in this new room know what it is.
Is it you and Indy?
You know too.
Don't know.
Oh, okay. Okay, we're playing that one. We'll tell you. We'll tell you when it gets here. It'll be a surprise.
The thing is I can't know secrets because I'm terrible at lying and terrible at keeping secrets. So, yeah, it's just better if I don't know.
You'll just accidentally spill the beans.
Yeah, like I am not good at any type of deception whatsoever, even if it's harmless.
So Rebecca, Eric Garcia wants to know, are there any upcoming videos assembling your engine?
We're doing a series on getting the car back
Together.
getting the car back together and going sevens because that's what it's gonna do. Yes, I know.
Do long tubes flow as good as catless X pipes?
That's an interesting one. They flow better. If you need the flow, you could see a horsepower increase.
Did you decide, are you going to Bowling Green NMRA?
We have not decided.
Yeah, we haven't.
That's like-
what's that? The weekend after we get back from being out.
Yeah, it's like the second weekend after
I'm
we
looking
get
at
back.
my Google Calendar.
Yeah.
My life is a mess. I only know it by my calendar.
We're going on a vacation this year in the middle of September, so there's that.
I can answer this one. Anything in the works for 11 to 14 fuel systems in VMP. So actually, our fuel system will work for 11 to 14s at this point. And I believe I already updated the listing on the website.
Awesome.
So we will get that information out there.
Cool.
Jolly Rogers says, some of these names. Can we get a Justin versus Rebecca drag race?
Ooh.
I feel like that would be so unfair.
I know. I weigh like 100 pounds more than you.
And
Unfair, but it would be fun.
You've got $9.99. Like, I don't know. I honestly, I don't like that question. I'm going to be quite honest about it. Because it's like saying, oh, well, because you should be able to do it better than me. Even though I have a ton more experience, I have a ton more.
The way it kind of works with Rebecca and I, not the way it kind of works, the way it does work is she's the driver, I'm the crew chief. We
do what we're good at.
Yeah. We both do our things and the car goes fast.
You guys make a good team.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it with anybody else as my crew chief, and I don't know that you want anybody to be your crew chief.
Yeah.
I mean, I could. We work well together. I couldn't be your crew chief if I were racing you.
It took us a long time to get to the point where we work well together too.
Nickel White came back about NMRA. Bowling Green said it's September 27th through 29th.
What do y'all think about that whole Bowling Green, Holly Ford Fest thing where they're doing the combined events there at their track at Bowling Green?
Anything like LS Fest will be a good time.
Be a good time. So I'm afraid that the LS or the Ford Fest is going to push all the NMRA drag racers out and make them angry. And
Angry drag racers are dangerous.
yeah. And they're going to be doing this, you know, drag racers are used to one thing, going in a straight line. You start talking Auto X, drifting, any of that stuff, and they just get angry.
You put cones down on the ground and I'm supposed to know what they mean?
Nickel White says LS Fest is this weekend.
Yeah, I was just watching Cletus's video about him getting ready for LS Fest, fixing all his cars.
MDR Cook says, does Track Attack's new 5.2 block have cylinder liners? If not, how much can it handle without liners?
It is a spray bore block, and it is that way. So we'll find out.
It is that way.
Yeah, it's just that way. There were no aftermarket cylinder liners installed. Just so you know, when you ask that question, most people say sleeved. Was the block sleeved?
Lance Rainey says, great track and beautiful. Talking about Bowling Green.
It is a great track, but water comes up through the ground if it rains, and it always rains.
Topper Harley says, trip to Mexico and got a full bolt-on Z06 kill. My dyno was 640, 640. He's got an auto, and I had to Cletus shift, but held off a car. It looks like a car and a half. He's like, how?
Your shit's fast, I guess.
Yeah, I just take it and be happy with it.
We can make it faster.
Let's see. Carlos says, nice. I'm going to order my 90 millimeter pulley today. I call Steve now. Thanks.
Yeah. You can also order on our website too.
Yep.
Let's see. Topper Harley. On his car, he says a 2.4. He was the one that just went to Mexico. 2.4 JLT 123, no meows, and twin 67 with VMP tuned.
Nice.
Let's see. People are talking to Travis about his car. He said it was a 17 as well.
Nice.
Is the VMP fuel system sold out?
We can sell as many as we need to.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know nothing about it being sold out. Bodhi Yodi says, so if I have already bought the GT350 throttle body and cold air intake, what other manifold would you suggest other than the GT350? I am looking to take advantage of an 87 millimeter.
The GT350. The manifold. I mean, that's the one the throttle body matches.
Bossman12 Boss says, I've been told that the Boss 302 stock headers flow pretty good. Would you change into long tubes if you were going to put a Gen 3 on, or do you think the stock headers are good enough?
So that's a good question. I mean, it is. I'd like to explore that a little more in depth than I did earlier by kind of giving the quick answer.
When somebody asked about long tubes versus Catless X.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just making sure I didn't miss anything.
On both of our cars at various points, we ran stock headers for a long time.
Long time.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my pretty heavy headers over there.
Yeah. And now you've got those
Nobody can see them.
for one of your cars.
But they're pretty.
Yeah.
I already updated the photo.
Oh,
The new
cool.
photo.
Awesome.
Cool.
Thank you.
With that said, we're caught up at the moment.
Okay. Well, we've got some more stuff to talk about, some more goodies and stuff like that. So you were happy with your stock manifolds for a while, right?
I mean, did I go 895 on them? Or no?
I don't think so.
I can't remember. But into like 800 horsepower range, right?
Yeah, I think 800, 850.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I mean, they are pretty good. Like I guess that's what we're saying. But eventually they do become a restriction, and you are going to want to upgrade. My other thing that people hear me say a lot is, how much boost do you run? As little as possible is always my answer. I know, and I'm not trying to be evasive when I say that, and I'm not trying to be cute. I want to have everything flowing optimally, and that in turn reduces boost that you would see otherwise restricted.
So we have here.
Bill
Speaking
Brantley
of
says
flowing.
hi.
What was that, Carrie?
Bill Brantley says hi.
Oh, hey,
Hi.
Bill. We have here a Hellcat 105 millimeter.
I was gonna say that looks like 10 centimeters.
You were very close.
Of course I was. I know 10 centimeters very well.
So this is for a Hellcat. It's when the show starts, when it gets up to 10 centimeters.
Yep, and it looks just like a little baby head could fit through it.
It's kind of amazing. This is the size of a fully dilated cervix and
God,
a little
just-
bit bigger. There's Rebecca's a midwife. So I saw all of our children being born. And Indy's so big now. Are you a little embarrassed? Okay.
Unfortunately, I'm a very visual person, so
Oh, sorry, honey. So this is this weird asymmetrical bolt pattern that the Hellcat throttle body is based on, and happens to share a bolt pattern with a 2020 Shelby GT500. The Hellcat happens to use the same size throttle body as the 2020 Shelby GT500. So it's only coincidental that we're coming out with Hellcat 105 millimeter throttle bodies. So yeah, here it is. It's cool. It's awesome. We're going to be selling them. We were doing
It's
some
a good looking throttle body, honestly.
yeah, nice, polished. We were doing some testing with it, just drivability testing and everything on the dyno Tuesday night. Matt came over and used the dyno.
Yeah, it was Tuesday
So,
night.
yeah, and those will be going up on the website, available for sale shortly. We understand there's kind of a vacancy of product in the marketplace. So Brett Leminger and I know a bunch of other people are interested in them. But yeah, that's the story on Hellcat 105 throttle bodies.
Kyle Ford says, come on, man, help the Mustang lifestyle guy with that grill.
The grill. Oh,
Is there something wrong with the grill of the car, or did I miss something?
I don't know.
Okay. 14 Mustang GT manual 331s. Besides shocks, lower and upper control arms, what other suspension mods should I focus on for a drag setup?
Oh God, how much time do you have?
So he said shocks,
And lower and upper control arms.
upper
Lower
and
and
lower.
upper control arms.
Yeah.
And that was everything that he mentioned, right?
Depends. Yeah, depends on how fast you're going. I was helping Kellen with some shocks on his
Oh,
car
good.
this morning. Yeah.
Good. Is
Yeah.
he gonna run his car soon?
Yeah, he's gonna have it ready by Mod Nationals.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yay, I'm so excited for him.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for him.
So Justin, people did not like your conversation about the round throttle body. Just letting you know.
Okay.
Someone says they're never going to be able to look at a round throttle body the same again.
Oh gosh.
Any updates on the plug and play 18 and up?
Fuel system?
Just plug,
Just-
like a Tesla, you know?
Plug-in Mustang. No.
No, I don't know. I'm just
Yeah.
making shit up now.
We're working on it. I would expect a launch probably around like Black Friday or so of a plug and play 10-up fuel system. Yeah.
Go with some other stuff. for
I have
18's
a
coming up then.
17 F-150 trying to decide between what supercharger to go with. Why should I choose your supercharger over other manufacturers? Also, are you guys developing a fuel system for F-150s?
So our supercharger is awesome, and it makes more horsepower, and it functions very, very well in all terms: cooling, drivability, horsepower, torque, cost, installation. I think it's a good value for what
Yeah.
it does performance-wise. So that's the short version.
Absolutely. I mean, it has a lot of attributes that we can discuss in detail, but it definitely delivers performance in a really, really drivable way. So it's well suited on the street and around town, and also at the drag strip.
So this person's got a 17 F-150, which is, we have a bunch of those around the shop. And they do really well with the Gen 2R, with the Gen 3.
I was
with
looking at the Gen 3.
Gen 3. So
Yeah.
it's a really good value for a 2.65 liter TVS supercharger.
Absolutely.
It's made over 700 wheel on me and Joe's trucks. I would probably keep yours around 600, 625 wheel just for like a daily driver on pump gas. That kit, we did not scrimp on anything. It comes with big injectors, comes with a billet throttle body, you know, just kind of like nice stuff. So, yeah.
Bossman to a Boss wants to know, when is that new billet manifold going to be available? Any idea?
We're looking around the end of the year for this.
David Murdoch is on the line.
Hey,
He
Dave.
David.
says, DSS carbon fiber drive shaft. My rear CV joint is bad. What is your experience with these? I ordered an aluminum G-force to replace it. Should I for 800 wheel? No track time.
I think either one, you probably can't go wrong.
Yeah.
With that said, you're caught up again.
Well, I think we're almost to the end of the line here. So Carter just came over, wants to say hi to everybody. Come over here, Carter. All right, Carter. Now's your time.
Bye, thank you. Have a good day. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share.
Good job.
We'll see you next time, everybody. We're gonna go sell some parts and design some parts.
Jim Ferraro just jumped on real quick.
Oh, hey, Jim.
Hey, Jim.
Said,
I
if
love
you
the
have a 17 F-150, go with VMP because the entire package is cohesive and the tuning is spot on. Everything is well thought of and goes together. The drivability with the Gen 2R and VMP tune has been better than stock, something you don't always find with blower kits.
Well, thank you very much, Jim, for
That
the
was
endorsement.
really nice.
And with that, we'll see everybody next time.
Please remember to like, subscribe, and subscribe.